Okay, so I've been building systems for days. As we can see, I've got all these virtual machines, and some of them I've already deleted. Ubuntu desktop, lab router, Ubuntu DNS, mail server, CentOS 7. I've also CentOS 6, Ubuntu 64 minimal install server, Fedora 19, and this is Ubuntu 12.4 desktop. I've had the most luck with the desktop, even though I haven't succeeded yet, but time will get it. So far, we've got the XM mail server running here. As you can see, the status says it's okay, and it's up and running. We have the version of XM we're running is 4.76. We're also running the Berkeley database, which is a requirement for this. And the glibc library is 15, and it has to be 17. I think works, but definitely not 18. It was fixed in 18. The paperwork says it's fixed in 17.18, but 17 says it's still vulnerable in places, depending on the setup and everything else that goes with it. So I'll go over to Parrot here, and we've got I brought in the exploit for this. As you can see in the Metasploit framework thing here, we've got there's a couple of them already. XM4 Dovecot exec, get host by name, which is the main one, the one that we're sort of using. So I'll come over here, exploit Linux SNTP. It doesn't work anyway, so I don't even know why I'm bothering to run it. Options, host 10.1.200.7, set L host 10.1.200.5. I did have it set up through a router with different IPs, different domains, but I've sort of refined it down to try to make it a bit easier because I've spent so many days trying to get this to work. What other options do we need here? Lhost, why is Lhost set as that? No, that's okay. I just changed it anyway. Options, no. That's better. Okay, so exploit. Before I do exploit, I'll just come over here and I'll ping it to make sure that it's up and running. Yes, Control C. Okay. There we go, exploit file. One of my options failed to validate. Send a host address. Yes, I better do that. Send a host address, which is my address on this machine. Okay. Start via TCP handler. There we go. Exploit aborted due to failure, not vulnerable. Now I don't know how many times on the other end of it said it's vulnerable. Yet I've changed settings in the mail server. The forward reverse lookup zones. I've changed the hello, verify hello in there, which is another thing that. So it just depends. It depends on the system's got to be set up just right for this to work. But there is other options, like so it's a buffer overflow. So I've compiled a little bit of code. If we GDB buff here and now, just to see if I can exploit just the buffer overflow here through this locally. Text editor. So this will print out a whole heap of A's, yeah, okay, so 260 bytes, we're still not into the zone. I've created some shell code that I've put in here as well. So I know that at 260, if we 264 still works normally. 268, there we go, segmentation fault. So I've added a 44-byte, a 32-bit shellcode here. I don't have time to modify this now, it's getting pretty late in the game. Copy, put this in here. It demonstrates the buffer overflow anyway, so yeah. So there's the shellcode and the garbage there, but starting the process, executing new program, bin.sh. So if this was a 32-bit system, as it says he's not compatible with reported target architecture, I'd have a shell here. But this sort of demonstrates it. I've spent so many days on building virtual machines, and so have the others, that and changing settings and modifying everything to try to get this to work. We came close, but not quite there. Okay, thank you.